What is up guys, it's Dr. Zor here helping cure you from being a noob. Today we're going to be going over how to play Sage in Valorant. Now Sage is a lot different from your typical healer type characters in other games. Yes, she has healing abilities, but she also has other abilities you can utilize to help her grab a frag herself. We have professional player and streamer Mendo who got to playtest the game and help us out. We're going to be breaking down Sage's abilities and how to use them, and then we're going to put them into actual play. So there are a ton of tips here that no one else knows about yet. So you guys are getting the real deal here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below on who your favorite agent is and who you're going to main when Valorant comes out, and let's get on into it. Now, before we get into the juicy professional tips, we need to get down to the basics. Don't worry, I'm gonna make it quick. Let's get through the abilities. Her first ability creates a wall to block off parts of the map, and it lasts a very long time. Currently, playtesters are saying that it lasts 45 seconds, which is insanely long. One round is 1 minute and 45 seconds, so you practically have the wall up for half the round in a certain area. But there is a catch, the wall is breakable. With one player it'll take a little bit over a clip of ammo to break it, but with multiple players it can be broken in a couple of seconds. So this is very important for all those people thinking that it's overpowered. It is not. If you take your little peanut brain and instead of thinking, damn, this wall is lasting so long, it's overpowered, I'm gonna rage, stop, reassess, and say, oh hey, there's a Sage wall, let's spray it down and push right through, baby boo. Also realize that the wall deteriorates over time, so the longer it's up, the easier it will be to break down. And you also have your own abilities too. If there's a Sage wall and you also have a Sage, you can Sage wall back and push on through. There are a lot of options you can do, but enough of that. Let's go to Mendo showing some advanced tips on how to use this wall.
So here I'm showing the wall, right? I'm showing how I am precisely rotating this, and I hold right click, I'm rotating it in the exact angle I want. And then I'm clicking the button and it just swaps in between the two. You rotate the wall any way you want, right? So if I want to rotate it specifically in an angle and then I pull out a gun, the angle stays the same. So the position that I've pre-rotated my wall to, it stays after swapping your gun. So you can get some like precise like smoke plays, like you pre-angle your wall and then you sprint into a corner inside a smoke wall and you place it with a lineup like that. You look into a wall over here in a precise angle and then you run all the way down sewer for a perfect like wall, because the angle that you put the wall at will stay if you put it away or not, right? And then it just swaps between straightforward and like by clicking the ability button again, but it stays if you rotate it like that. So like right here, I blocked it off, right? And I can still do the same peek, but I can also get to the other box, which means that I block off just the same way, and I can access all 3 sight boxes with an angle like that instead. This is a really useful wall because you can't wall over it or jet fly over it. You just block it, so they have to shoot it. This is one of my favorite peaks that I found. This peak, when you wall it like this, instead of don't line it up with the middle box, line it up further out to the right like that. Give it more space to walk out, because this peak is more important for mid for clearing. Is you get a better window angle on the right side because this isn't blocking you, so you have an easier shot instead of a pixel peek. But you can also peek deep mid box and cubby from this side, which is super good, and you can jump that. So that one's a little tricky, but it means you can get up on this box on a wall that is far back without having to show yourself on this box.
So there you have it, a lot of different mechanics with the wall. You can rotate it, you can boost on it, you can angle it just right so you can boost onto multiple platforms, so you can rotate and check different angles quickly on the map. Alright, ability 2. This is probably the next biggest ability that you're going to use for Sage. It's the slow orb, which you can throw and it will slow anyone in it. This includes yourself and your teammates though, so keep that in mind. If you catch an enemy in this, they are pretty much done for, because 1, they're slowed, and 2, if they move at all, they're going to make a lot of noise, which gives you information on their location and you can pick them off. Now there are things that you can do with this orb as well. One thing to note is that it does bounce, so you can hit some crazy angles with the orb to safely get it into a spot without making yourself vulnerable to the enemy. You can utilize this to hit unique locations or bunny hopping on it, and Mendo's going to show us again some of those tactics.
So this is how slow you are walking through this though, actually. You don't make any sound if you're standing still, but you make sound if you crouch, walk, or sprint. All of them make sound, but not standing still. But in order to get through it, 3 hops right there, for instance, to get through it, compared to walking it. Pretty good. So B-hopping isn't useless. There's definitely value in it. Here I'm showing one of the useful slows I found if I'm playing B site or C site. It's pretty common for Sage players to make mid plays and stuff. This is just like a lineup I found for a slow that ends up on site. It kind of just covers the entire side of default. So if anyone's planting, they get kind of stuck. So if you molly it, it's really good. This is a very common spot for Sages because the slow covers so much since it kind of morphs along the architecture where you throw it. So this jump peak is super powerful because you can easily bounce the slow further down. And you can get the walls off pretty deeply from a pretty safe spot. So this wall, for instance, covers sight. There's a gap in for peak, but it covers a rotation off of that left side sight. So let's say you're playing back here. You can jump spot, right? You have a perfect jump spot. You have a perfect spot for a slow from this spot. You can't really wallbang this deep. This is called dumpster. You can't really wallbang this. And you can get a really valuable angled wall through where you wall off the garage walkout. And you wall off any sort of rotation from this side of the map. Let's say you get smoked. And they can't come through this side because the wall is up. This box is wall bangable. So you have you can probably place this wall better than I did too. And you can wall bang for plant. And on top of that, you can get some really good peaks from it, right? So if you jump up on logs, you can get on top of the wall and on top of site and from the wall on top of the big box site too. So this is the perfect angle setup, right? You can probably do this even from the way over there. I'm just not good enough. Easy to bounce the shit off, and you can get on top of site for the peaks. So Sage is super valuable here too.
Alright, so those are the big tips from Mendo. As you can see, Sage's wall and slow orb will be your main tools that you'll be using. Her signature ability is healing orb. Nothing crazy about that. You can use it to heal yourself to 100 HP or use it to your teammates to heal them for 100 HP depending on if you left click or right click. Do note that it does take some time to activate, just like most of the abilities in Valorant, so you want to make sure that you have some cover before you use any abilities, whether it's the wall, the slow orb, healing, or the ultimate, which we're going to get into right now. Now, Sage's ultimate ability is Resurrection. Yes, you can resurrect a teammate when they've been killed, but you have to use this smartly. It takes 1 to 2 seconds to cast the spell yourself, meaning that you're completely vulnerable during that time, but also after you do the resurrection, it takes time for your teammate to resurrect. So there's an animation for that, and you have to take that into consideration as well. Without the right setup, you can end up resurrecting them, wasting your ultimate, only for you to be killed right after, and then your teammate is still in the resurrection animation, meaning the enemy will then be able to set up and kill them easily as well, and you wasted everything. So to properly use resurrection, you can do 2 things. One is to scout out the area, kill any enemies that are nearby, and then when it looks safe, you can then resurrect your teammate. If you want to act fast and don't have time to do all this though, you can have your Sage Wall and Slow Orb if they're up. Use those to block off the enemy so you can safely revive them. That's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below again on your favorite agent and what you'd like to see from this channel. Make sure to check out Mendo on YouTube. He's got some amazing Valorant content coming out as well. I'm Dr. Zora here, helping cure you from being a noob, and I'll see you guys next time.
I'll get upgraded slowly, skins, graphics, everything. We'll see though, right?
There's 2 showers. If we
walk that's a molly! I walked into a molly! Yeah, I can't even tell. Oh no, dude.
They're over here.
Just shh. Gotta remember that noise.